Well, this weekend we had Veterans Day, and veterans are so important in our community. We have many veterans, and those who've served and are veterans or still in active service, would you stand? And yeah. And next would add to the people standing those families of people who have served. With great blessing and honor in our hearts, with deep gratitude for the wonderful service that these individuals and the many who are not here in this room, we bless all veterans and their families for that great service that has brought the sustainable joy and blessing that we have in our life, freedom. And in that, we are truly grateful. Thank you so much. Amen. What a blessing. And I am continuing in this series. If you have not picked up your copy of this beautiful booklet printed out by Unity, it's the Prayer for Protection of Beloved Prayer Brought to Life. It is on the welcome table. Please pick up a copy. I'm going to see if I can get my mouth to work. So the line in the prayer we're going to look at today is, the presence of God watches over me. This, of course, is the beautiful prayer that James Dillard Freeman, answering a call that we needed a prayer for protection. So in 1943, he drafted this beautiful prayer. Let's say it together. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. It's beautiful. And we've said this prayer so many times. Sometimes when we say a prayer so many times, it can almost become just a memory, a rote prayer, and we detach from really knowing the great value of the words. So I think taking these Sundays and looking at this is powerful. Of course, the presence of God is the very essence of our Bible. And from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 13, the presence of God gives life to all things. There is only the presence of God. We stated there's only one power and one presence in the universe and our life. That's God. And that presence is everywhere present, certainly within us and all around us. And it is what gives us life. It's what brings it to life. From that young Frankenstein movie, where that moment of, he's alive! That's what God gets to do with us each time there's new life. Be it a rain lily that bursts out of the ground, or a baby whale that's birthed in the ocean, or chickens that run around, or our own grandchildren, and the lives of the people in our life are all the life of God. There's no exception. From our booklet, Reverend Karen Shepherd has some pretty profound words on this presence. She says, I feel the presence of God when I pause from daily activities to bring about full awareness. Even though the presence makes itself known fully in the silence, it may come unbidden at any time. Of course, these times are that looking into a rosebud that's blooming, looking at a great sunset or sunrise, or looking at the night sky at night, or listening to music, or eating some good food, or laughing. Those multiple moments in our lives when we have a touchstone to the truth of God in our lives. She goes on to say, Reverend Karen, what obstacles, blocks to the awareness of presence include such factors as lack of forgiveness of self and others, lack of gratitude, lack of self-worth. As we seek to know the presence of God within, we grow spiritually. Awareness becomes so strong, we never have to doubt and go forward to meet our greatest good and highest joy. We're human. Is there anyone present in this room that each and every moment and breath of their life they're fully aware of God? Because if so, I'm ready to spend more time with you. Because I'm on that journey. We're all on that journey to awaken to that knowing. It's human. And if we have any unforgiveness, it starts with ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves for being unforgiving. And only then can we forgive someone else. That lack of self-worth is part of our journey of growing up, having this spiritual awakening, this spiritual journey. In our human journey, we have walked the path of, I'm not enough. I can't do that. No way. A personal story. When I was still living in Maui, there was a time when Owen and I decided that we were going to seek out a spiritual community. And we went to a religious science church, now Center for Spiritual Living. But back then, they had a wonderful little church in Maui, and we went, and we loved the minister, but we just found out that she had resigned, and she was just giving a couple of speeches a month to support the church. And we were visiting with some friends from the mainland who were sitting there with us, and after the service, Nancy was sitting right next to me, and she said, Andrew, come over here. He was a board member. He said, when are you going to schedule Gary to speak? And I was like, shut up! What are you doing? Of course, inside, I'm just like placid, but I'm screaming, I can't do that. It is beyond me to do that. And we learn. And sometimes it takes someone else to ignite a fire, because I did speak. And the sky didn't fall. And if it was, I truly believe, if it wasn't for Nancy saying that in that moment, I wouldn't be standing here right now. So, just because we have the unworthiness doesn't mean we can't worthy our way out of it. I like that. Worthy our way out of it. So we are on a journey, and that spiritual journey is the place within us where we can guide our human journey to that presence and awareness. That's the presence of God that watches over us. I wanted to bring in this wisdom from Martha Smock. I refer to her a lot because I love her wisdom. Martha Smock was the head of Silent Unity for decades. And here she says, there is nothing to fear, for you are always and forever in the presence of God. In truth, those fears that we have are just false evidence appearing real. They're just moments There are clouds that block our view of the presence that's always present. And all we need to do is breathe, to be grateful, to open our heart, say, God, guide me through this moment. I'm ready, willing, and able, but I don't know how. And lo and behold, we're given exactly what we need to do, the very next step. It is true, give us this day our daily bread. And my insides are saying, don't give me one day of bread, just back up the truck and give me all the bread I'm ever going to need. Admit it, some of you might feel the same way. We're given what we need today, right now, to do what it is ours to do. Because if we can take care of what we have now, we're given more. And we're given more. And we're given more. The universe is expanding. Creativity is everywhere around us. And it's happening within us. It's growing us. Which brings us to the wisdom of Reverend Kurt Condra. Kurt was my mentor in my training as a Unity minister. So I got very close to Kurt and his ministry, and he's a great friend and colleague. And he says in our booklet, claim the presence of God is watching over you often. Give thanks for even the slightest evidence. As surely as spring follows winter, day by day, thought by thought, your experience of presence, of being watched over by a force that's infinitely loving, will blossom. This is the truth. This wonderful presence, and it takes opening our eyes, opening our ears, opening our heart to the blessing of that Christ consciousness that is always present. And we can ask for direction. We can ask for clarity. We can ask for what's next. And in that we are presencing and practicing the presencing of God that's watching over us. Now, this takes commitment, and so I offer this personal exploration for us to step more into this. This week, join me in practicing, as we say often, prayer and meditation daily. When we establish truth in our words, and we can meditate into silence, it's that time when we can listen. It's that time when we can receive inspiration, intuition, guidance. And it comes through other people as well. The second one is look for the divine in everything. Look for the divine in the things you don't like very well as looking in the things that it's really easy to see the divine in it. The loved one, the children in our life, it's really easy to see the divine in them. We can also see a whole bunch of other things in them. But let's look at the divine. And if we're looking in it, we're looking for it and opening ourselves to it, aren't we in the presence? It's beautiful. The third is be of service to others. It's no accident today is our Unity Sacred Service Awards, and that we launched our Helping Hands program last week. Being of service is a wonderful opportunity to offer our experience, our strength, our knowing, our love, and helping others. What happens to our own problems is they melted away. It's amazing. I can be working on something, I don't know, I don't have the answer, and then be of service, and the answer comes. It is. It's just presence. It's beautiful. And I launched the opportunity of writing 10 things you love in the morning and 10 things you're grateful for at night. Start your day in love and end your day with gratitude. And there are some blank journals on the welcome table if you haven't gotten a copy of it. I've been doing that since we started this series, and I can tell you it is a wonderful journey. It's amazing what comes up for me to write the things that I love. And it's amazing at the end of the day to write the things that I'm grateful for. So continue that practice. And we will arrive at this wonderful idea of bringing this beloved prayer to life.